Well, we're here with manager Marc White after Dorking's first home game of 2020 here at Meadowbank. Wanderers defeated in the last minute by 3-2 in a roller coaster of a contest. Marc, can we get your thoughts?
Well, it's just no matter how long I talk for, it'll come down to being just one of those days. You know, wasn't meant to be today. Sucker punch. I thought it was a big decision to give in the last couple of seconds of the game, especially when Pryor's been yanked over twice about 5 minutes before that in a sort of corner first and second phase. But I'm not one to moan about little decisions, because I think when we look back at it, it probably will be a penalty. But it was just a game that, you know, we shipped a ridiculous early goal, first minute penalty. Primarily dominated possession. Welling's strength was always going to be slinging the ball into the kind of front four boys they had, and Elliot Romain showed why he's the league's top scorer. I thought however, I don't care who was marking him, however he finished off their second goal, it was a brilliant goal. You know, the front boys, we kept them quiet for long periods, but you know, it's a game we was chasing our tails, and then we've done all that work to get back into it, and then, you know, we just sat too deep. And you know, some of their players, you shouldn't be letting people get in the box on the ball. You've got to put a toe in outside the box, got to double up, do things quicker, sharper. But I thought when Luke Moore gets that brilliant goal, wonder goal, you know, you think there's only one team going to win it. We then miss one from 6 yards out. We then have one that hits the post and goes across the goal line. It can either bounce to Jason or it can go in and it goes straight across the goal line to the keeper. And that was the nature of the day. I didn't think we was anywhere near as bad as we were at Eastbourne. The biggest low light of the day will be Ed Harris by a mile. I can accept bad days at the office. I really can. I can accept bad days at the office because, you know, every club and team gets one a year, one a season. Today was one of those days. But you know, obviously we'd be disappointed to lose 2 league games back to back. But you know, Eastbourne was one we didn't deserve anything out of, and today we did, and we just didn't get a single thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Game of fine margins, absolutely epitomised today. And you mentioned Ed Harris. What's the latest with him?
Wow.
A bitter blow at the very start of the second half.
Yeah, he's gone home on crutches, you know. I mean, that's Samuel Abb, David Ray, Ed Harris. That's three of our centre halves that are all injured now. That's going to make life really tough for us, not just next week against Stockport, but moving forward. I think it could be a good month or 6 weeks potentially. This time of the year, that's a killer. He's been so good for us as well, Ed. He's been really good. He get great mobility since he's gone in the centre. He's really got to grips with it. I think if he stays on today, to be honest, I mean, I don't think we lose the game. I think his organisation back there, he was dealing with Romain really well. There's a good, really good tussle between them, but a fair one, and I thought we dealt with him really well. In particular, he was keeping him high up the pitch, and I thought when Ed went off, we dropped off. We allowed them to sort of play a lot higher, and that makes them type of players more dangerous, and I warned of that at half time. So no, Ed's going to be a massive loss. We're licking our wounds. Jimmy Mewitt's groin's gone again, so he just come back too soon. That happens. But I think positively, hopefully tomorrow, Luke Moore and McShane tell me they got through it okay. Jake Gallagher we took off at half time just because he's just played so many games. I just thought he looked heavy-legged, so we thought we'd do that one.
And looking ahead now to next week, obviously you give us a good summary there where we're at going into the Stockport game. And on that note, fantastic support here today, one of the highest crowds of the season. That bodes really well for next week. Yeah,
really appreciate the away fans. Really do. You know, they sung away and they made it an eventful contest, and you know, great to get clubs that are prepared to travel and put money in the coffers of other clubs that need it. So, you know, really well supported club. Well done to Steve. Credit to Steve and, you know, and Dartford for getting over the line today. But I mean, they're football people, and you know, it wasn't a game they deserved to win. It's a game they did win. It's that simple. And it wasn't a game we deserved to lose, and a game we did lose. But you can't harp on about that. The result is the result now. We'll have a 2-week break, I'd imagine, now before our next league game. all sorts of things are going to happen before that you know, in terms of Stockport and whatnot. So we'll have to just dress ourselves down and go again. You know, but today would have just been disappointing. The pure manner of it was just one of them days at the office. There was only one team going to win at 2-2. I mean, I'm pretty certain, knowing Steve, that he would have pressed collect at that point. You know, we were relatively dominant, albeit they always had that threat. They always had that outlet up top that was going to be dangerous, and maybe a little bit of inexperience at the back meant we dropped off a little bit on them and enabled them to run at us in dangerous areas, where first half I thought we had them in the right place. So that's disappointing. But no, it is what it is. So bad day at the office. And hopefully next week the crowd, who I thought were immense, come out. They're going to come out in force. The game's going to sell out, hopefully. It's on its way to that. They'll come out in force next week. We're going to be big underdogs. But as we know down here, we never write us off, you know.
Onwards and upwards. Mark, thank you.
Yeah, cheers.